The Caldwell March was started in October of 2000. That was our first march. The Caldwell March simulates the 26-mile trek that the first cadet, Addison Caldwell, took in October of 1872 to become the first student at Virginia Tech. We do it in two parts. We get off at the Caldwell homestead and we march about 13 miles. We go along Sinking Creek and then climb up and over Sinking Creek Mountain. And it's done in October, and it's to signify the end of the first phase, first and toughest phase of our freshman training system. And then in the spring, to signify the end of the year-long freshman training experience, the class is bussed back out to where we stopped in the fall. And the first thing we do then is climb Brush Mountain. We go up to the top of Brush Mountain, a long, arduous climb. We cross over the top onto a fire road, and then we go along that for a few miles, and then we march through neighborhoods until we finally end up coming down Main Street and back up to the Upper Quad, where they conclude with the formation at the end of the full 26 miles.
Congratulations. Caldwell signifies end of your freshman training. All right? At this time, we're all now upperclassmen.
All the freshmen line up on the inside of the VT, and they all face inward. And when they face inward, all the upperclassmen come out of all the dormitories, and the freshman class is then given the command to about face, and now they face their upperclassmen. And then the upperclassmen come over to the freshman line and they introduce themselves. And now they're all on a first-name basis. They're still within the disciplinary system of the Corps of Cadets, but the freshman experience is over, and they are now. Now's where the friendships with the upperclassmen begin.
I feel like in the future, an event like this, it really teaches you about not only the planning for the event, but the actual execution of the event. Weeks prior to the event, you have to plan for all the details. But when you have the actual execution of the event, there's always things that pop up that you maybe didn't think of that you have to deal with on the fly, and you have to make decisions because people are always looking up to you. Well, what are we going to do about this? And you have to be able to come up with that decision because everyone's looking up to you. And I think that's really what's going to help us as cadets in the future, as leaders in the civilian or military world, is that we've dealt with these situations before and we're prepared for them.
2 forward! 2 files, grab meal, hey, 2 files, 2 files! 2 files, grab meal, move on with life!
What the training is focused around is the freshman class. It's all about teaching them, the proper way to put on their uniforms, the proper way to march, so on and so forth. And by signifying Caldwell March, the second part, in the turning ceremony, that they've reached the pinnacle of their training.
The Cadets Association with the Caldwell March mirrors their progress up the leadership ladder, their development of their leadership skills, because they go from being a follower, and it's the followers who accomplish the mission, to the leader, who is the one who motivates the followers to accomplish whatever the mission is in the way that the leader thinks it ought to be accomplished.